Right, Joe Giglio with the News and Observer. We've been over the Luke story before, but I feel like there is this misconception that he was sleeping on the sidewalk outside your office begging for a roster spot, when really he was pursued by a number of different teams in your league. And what did you have to say to him to turn down those scholarship offers from other schools? I know eventually he's always been on scholarship, but when you were recruiting him, that wasn't the case.
No, Joe, you're exactly right. A funny story is I go see him play in the spring of his junior year, I think it was, in an event in Myrtle Beach. And I was there. The head coach at North Carolina State was there. The head coach at Clemson was there. The head coach at Virginia was there. The head coach at Notre Dame was there. The head coach at Davidson was there. And it was perhaps the worst basketball game I've ever seen in my life. And Luke fit right in. But everybody had seen him before that time as well. But no, he could have gone any place he wanted to go, really. I mean, Notre Dame had offered, Clemson had offered, Virginia, I think, had offered. I mean, he could have gone anywhere. And what I had to do is just convince him that you're going to be treated just like a scholarship guy. You'll never have anything different. If the scholarship guys run 10 sprints, you'll run 10 sprints. If they get filet mignon, you get filet mignon. That you'll be exactly the same. The only thing is, because we don't have a scholarship, is that for the first year, mom and dad are going to have to pay the bills. But I won't, excuse me, I want you here. I think you fit in here. I think you're going to be successful here. You're going to surprise people here. I really did believe that. And he'd been to our camp 2 years or maybe 3. Thank you, Phil. And so I felt that strongly that he would be successful. And then, you know, both mom and dad being North Carolina parents and graduating from our place was pretty good too.
North State Journal. Roy, do you have an update on Cameron Johnson's health? And how important is it to what you do to have him out there and functioning, you know, close to 100%?
Well, I think at this time of the year, you need everybody that's been important to you all year to function at a high level. And you need those guys coming off the bench to be able to do and step up their play even a little bit more. Cam practiced this morning. We've already had a practice. He got through it, didn't seem to have any problems. And unless he's laying back in there on the floor that I don't know about, I would feel that he would be fine. He adds another shooter from the outside. He's a good basketball player. He can make plays too. He's got to get better defensively and all those kind of things. But no, he's important to us, and I expect him to be full go.
Front row.
Hey, Coach Kiera Luck. Quick question. How are you soaking up these last moments with Theo?
How am I soaking up these last moments with Theo? I'm really sort of counting down when I'll get rid of the rascal. What are you thinking? He's a unique young man that I've really, really, really enjoyed. He's in some basketball games, he's dominated the game without being a great scorer. He's one of the best leaders I've ever seen in practice. He's one of the best talkers I've ever seen on the court when it's very appropriate to talk. Now, he talks a lot of other times, sometimes when it's not appropriate, I guess. But no, he's a unique individual. He really is. And I'll miss the sucker, so I hope we get to play a few more weeks.
Second row right in front of me.
Coach Williams, Richard Walker from the Gaston Gazette. Aaron Roman is a guy you took a chance on last year. He's now a senior, a chance to go 2 for 2 in this event. What does that mean to you?
Well, if he can pull that off, he'll be one of the greatest players in North Carolina history. That's pretty good. There's not many. I don't think there's anybody that's been there 2 years and won 2. But Aaron's a fantastic kid. I don't know what's wrong with my throat. But a fantastic kid, great student, been a great addition to our team. Everybody else on the team just adopted him immediately. And he takes kidding very well because they kid him, I kid him. But he's been a pleasure to coach as well. Great young man. He's going to be very successful someday. He'll be my boss one day.
To our right, second row.
Coach Mike Organ with the Tennessean. What have you seen from Lipscomb? Is there anything, what's the one thing that sticks out at you that they could possibly give you trouble with?
Well, there's a lot of things that stick out that could give us problems with their ability to shoot the ball, ability to score, the pace they play. The one thing that really jumps out at me is Matthews has shot, I think, I don't have the stats up here in front of me, I think he shot 130 or 140 more free throws than anybody on our team. I mean, and that's remarkable Tiger may have made another birdie. My phone's buzzing. But it is something, they do a great job of getting to the free throw line. That means the team they're playing is in foul trouble a lot. So we got to play defense without fouling. We always go up and down every practice, so we're used to running, but this is a team that's going to run back at us. Yesterday in practice, we had 2 different occasions where we didn't get good defensive balance, and the blue team lays it up. And I said, guys, that's what we're going to face tomorrow. We can't give up those easy. They have scorers who are expected to score, and they've come through for them every time. They have rebounders, they have defenders, they have guys who set screens. So it's Casey's done a nice job. It's a very well-coached team. But the thing that jumps out at me is how many times, because everybody talks about a shooter. I mean, he can really shoot the ball, but my gosh, he's not just a shooter. They don't foul too many of those threes.
Second row in the aisle.
Dan Walken, USA Today. So just to be clear, you get Tiger updates sent to your phone immediately? And
No.
Is this going to be a distraction for you, this Tiger comeback that seems to be enthralling the country?
No, it's I was looking around. Taylor Zarzour said one time, I think it was at the Final Four, that that was somebody wanting tickets. Why even check the daggum thing? Taylor Zarzour said one time at the Final Four, I came out and said, where does Tiger stand today? It's right before I walked in. I'm a huge fan. Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods, to me, are the guys that I really have a great deal of respect for, because they were the best, and nobody had better focus. Nobody had better work habits, and all that. So I'm amazed by those kind of guys. Michael, I'm pretty close to Michael, and I've seen it up close and personal. I've met Tiger one time. I've talked to him on the phone. But he's surprising me. I never thought he would get back here. I really didn't. I did not have the faith, but I am a fan, so I enjoy. What else am I going to do? Dang, sit here and wait 30 minutes before I talk to you guys? Come on.
Front row.
Yeah, 2 former players are asking for 2 apiece for tomorrow. That's this last one.
Recognition being paid attention to you guys, or do you kind of like floating under the radar a little bit this year?
I think we're getting recognition. It's what we deserve. I mean, we didn't win the regular season. We didn't win the tournament. We're a pretty doggone good basketball team. We've got a chance to win some games, and I believe if we play well and do the right things, that we can play a lot. And so that's probably the way people are treating us. I heard Jay and Seth and I forget who else it was. Nobody picked us to go to the Final Four, but Michael Wilbon did, so I'm going on his. I'm saying he's a lot smarter than the rest of those guys. But what we try to do really is just enjoy the experience. I want our guys to enjoy this today, and then I want them to play their tail off, enjoy the locker room tomorrow, and if we play well enough, perhaps somebody will let us stay around and play again. And that's the reason we do all the stuff on putting how many teams are left. We do go, I know it's a thing you guys don't like to hear, but we really do take it one game at a time, and if somebody lets us play again, that's great.
Middle of the room.
Dick Cox with Cox Sports Broadcasting. Coach, I asked your players this question. I'm going to ask you this one, too. Your thoughts, you've been playing ACC teams the last 2 months, of getting to play somebody different for a change.
Well, we talked about it with the team that there may be some things that we'll do in a game tomorrow that they may not recognize before we do it. And once you get in the league and playing people 18 times and things like we do, and you're on TV every game, if we call box right, the coaches on the other staff, they yell box right. So perhaps we might get something that they're not familiar with, and the same thing. We showed our team clips yesterday on Lipscomb the first time. I started watching tape, I can't even remember, I guess Monday night. But throughout the course of the year, you're playing people, you watch tape for 3 or 4, 5, 6 weeks and see them play 8 or 10 times. But we realize that we've been in some tough first-round games. I mean, I've been in some really tough ones. I mean, at Kansas one time we were #1 seed, and Holy Cross had us beat we're down like 9 with 5 minutes to play. Or Kirk Heinrich had hurt his ankle, and he's sitting on the end of the bench with a ice wrap and all that kind of stuff. 2 years ago, Florida Gulf Coast. It was a really good basketball game. We probably blew them out by 5 or 6. I can't remember, but it was something like that. So we do try to realize that we've got the target on our back, and that's okay. I like that.
Front row.
Fernandez, Sporting News. Coach, has there been a player, maybe behind the scenes in practice, who has really made a postseason leap, ever since the regular season ended in practice and whatnot?
if you were to ask each one of them, they'd probably say it was them. I don't think so. I mean, our guys, those other guys that don't get all the minutes, they've been pretty steady for us all year long. I mean, I think K.J. Smith's gotten better all along as we go. Aaron Rollman, that we talked about a minute ago, just does a marvelous job. He can play the 5, the 4, the 3 with the scout team. So, but I don't see anybody that's jumped out. I know for a while there, Garrison Brooks, his minutes and his production slowed down a little bit, and I think he played better in the ACC tournament. But other than that, nobody jumps out at me.
Middle of the rim.
Kipper.
Yeah, Kip Coons for the News and Observer. Roy, anybody this year or in recent history that Lipscomb really reminds you of that you've played against?
Yeah, 2 bad memories, Belmont and Wofford. You know, Belmont beat a pretty good team in the Smith Center a few years ago, and Wofford beat a pretty good team in there this year. Matthews can really shoot the ball. Mayberry gives them another guy up front, and it's a little more balanced than people think. And I would hope that they think that those are compliments, because both those teams beat us, and that's exactly who it looks like to me. One of our coaches said it reminds us of looking at ourselves, you know, because they do push the ball, they do share the ball, they shoot from the outside, they do score inside. But I think of those 2 games.
Ty Hurd with Carolina Blitz. Coach, Akira asked Joel about this being a down year, and he said that it kind of was a down year and that he didn't expect this team to be where they are now. What are your thoughts on that? Would you reflect that, his answer, or did you expect your team to be where they are now?
I expect to win every game. I really do. Start the season, first meeting, I told them, I'm standing here looking at guys that are good enough to win the whole blessed thing. Now you got to play. You got to buy in. You got to we've shown tape on Virginia, not just from the game, but pointed out things about this is the way we want to play. I think that should be very flattering to Tony and his team. And 2005, middle of the season, I brought in tape of Illinois to show our team how unselfish Illinois were. They were the #1 team in the country at that time. They were playing better than anybody, and we ended up playing them, and we beat them. But I don't really try to figure out where we can be and be up or down myself. I just think let's practice every day, work every day, try to be better every day. And that sounds corny as all get out, but that's exactly what we do. Today I said, let's get better. Let's get better. And Coach Wooden told me one time that at the start of the season, he would get his schedule and mark down which games he thought they would win and which games he thought they may lose, and put it in an envelope and put it in his desk. And wouldn't get it out until the season's over, and then get it out to see what it. I said, Coach, I can't do that. I can't even remember who we played the second game, and that is true. And but I said, Coach, I'm sure you're pretty close all the time, you know, to what you expect. But for Joel to say that, you know, he was looking at Justin was gone, Kennedy was gone, Isaiah was gone, Tony was gone, Nate Britt was gone. Who's going to take those guys' places? So I'm sure there were some doubts, but. You know, I really don't try to look down the road to figure out what we would be.